Hello, everyone. This is Spittinfire coming to you with another one. Okay, so we're going to be talking about Ukraine and Russia. Now, I know that every news outlet is speaking on this, okay, because it's a war between two countries, okay, and this has been going on. Now, a lot of people are doesn't know why they are at war or why they're this. And I'm developing that story too. It seems like for more than 30 years since Ukraine depart from the Soviet Union, Russia has been at odds with Ukraine and upset, okay? And there's just been some things that's going on back and forth with Putin or whatever. And he's been trying to get Ukraine back under the Soviet Union, but he does not want to. Now, I'm thinking probably economics reasons why he want Ukraine back, okay? However, I feel like if you would have did what you were supposed to do, then they wouldn't have had to branch off and go their own separate ways. Now, this is not unusual for these things like that to happen. It's like once you get a nation up under your umbrella, you really don't want to lose them. And when you lose them because they don't agree with the government or whatever, and they start going back their own way, it can, kind of make enemies, okay? Just like how Hawaii is now up under the US of A, or how Australia is now under US of A. These are the things that happen. But what if they didn't like the way the government was, so they broke away again? Well, that can leave a bad taste, okay, when they do that. It's like you give it, we govern you, and then you're going to take it, you're going to throw us away again. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I'm thinking has happened. I'm sure that it's something much more deeper than that, but those are the surfaces, okay? And I told you never to think on the surface level. However, at this particular thing, we only have the surface to look at, okay? But we're going to go deeper and we're going to go above to get into the neat and gritty of this, okay? So, many of you wondering what is going on, okay? So there's many people who have fled out of Ukraine to Poland, okay? They went by train, airplanes, buses, loads of them was coming around the clock. And they still trying to evacuate the people as we speak. However, some people, are not going to be the last. Men are going to be the last to be able to, evacuate, okay? That is not part of the military of Ukraine. And one of the things is that they have to exchange information for where they're going to be so they can reunite with their loved ones. Now, Poland has been very open and accepting of the Ukrainians to enter into their country. Now, one of the things is a lot of times when you do that, there are going to be some people that just, once it's over with, they're just not going to go back home. Just like how it was when Louisiana was underwater. They went to different areas and they just didn't come back, okay? That new place becomes home. And the fear of that happening again, they don't want to deal with that. So now that Poland has been accepting the people and placing people in different things and coming and going, there are people going across other borders as well, away from the war site, okay? Now, so far, the Russian has struck an apartment building with a missile, and one was killed, okay, in an apartment building. And so many others. I think there were some people killed on the streets when they were driving in a car. A missile came out of the sky and killed a few families and things of that nature. But one of the things that Ukraine was doing, and they were delayed several weeks on doing so, was because they had to help evacuate the people and try to get them out of harm's way from the missiles and the areas into which they believed that they were going to target. Now, we know that a lot of times when it's a war, the first thing they want to target is the capitals, okay? They always want to go where the capital is or where it's going to hurt, okay, economic status. So, like when we were under attack, in 9/11, they attacked New York. New York is where the New York Stock Exchange is where a lot of, it's really a state that can cripple the whole country. And so we were under attack, okay? Now, one of the things that is going on now with Ukraine is that some people still trying to evacuate. So they had to wait and do things and hoping that they won't be, a casualty of this war, right? So they say that the ATM and the banking lines are long. The some of the stores are closed or whatever. People are going in there. The stores, before they even closed, had people going there and help themselves for the ones who said that they were going to stay and tough this out. But the stores that are still there and opening, they running out of food because no one wants to go into a war zone and deliver food. You know what I mean? There's nothing that is going to be in the airspace right now. So Ukraine has, of course, stopped all the airspaces other than people flying out. Okay. So, and they still watching the people that's on the plane. They're watching them, making sure that they can fly out without a missile going at the plane. So they have airstrikes trying to stop the missiles from hitting the planes as the people leave. And they doing that with the bus sites and everything else. So they have military on the ground so many hundreds of miles away so that the civilians can go to safety. And that's the military's first thing, is to get the civilians to safety. They have to get you to safety before they can even strike back with Russia. Okay, so that is one of the things that is problematic, is when you're at war, because if you don't get the civilians to safety first, when you need to fight, for one, you have a lot of friendly fire. There can be a lot of mistakes of soldiers killing their own, all that. So you want to get them to safety for those who are going to evacuate. And so, well, there was enough people to evacuate the grounds into which Ukrainians fought back. And today, and this week, they have fought back within the last several days. They have taken over several Russian military tanks. They have killed over 5,000 Russian soldiers. And it's so funny and so pathetic how so many people losing their lives, and they don't have any clue as to why they're losing their lives. You thinking you fight for this country, but for what? You know what I mean? Like, this is not, we're not soldiers. We're not transformers. Like, for what? It need to be a good cause. And one thing about war is that it's never concrete on what the fight is really about. Even when we were at war at times, it's never concrete on what the fight is about. People say it's always about oil. Every time I have a conversation with someone about war, it's always about oil. I'm like, it's not that much oil in the world. They're trying to get away from oil and make all cars electronic, and they go on by chips. So it can't just be oil. You know, that's just all we know is oil. But oil is losing value as of right now. You understand? With everyone going over to technology, okay? And so people are asking, will the United States send in troops to help Ukraine? Well, the United States, first, before they do that, they provide assistance. And Ukraine has been an ally of the United States for quite some time. So this is what the Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, had to say a couple days ago. He said that Ukraine is a sovereign, democratic, and peaceful loving nation. The United States and Ukraine have been partners since Ukraine declared its independence from the Soviet Union more than 30 years ago. After Russia invaded partially occupied Ukraine in 2014, the United States intensified effort to help Ukraine defer further Russian aggression and, if needed, to defend itself from additional attacks. Last fall, as President threatened against Ukraine from Russia developed under authority delegated by the president, I authorized the Department of Defense to provide $60 million in immediate military assistance to Ukraine. In December, as that threat materialized, authorized a further drawn down worth $200 million. Today, as Ukraine fights with courage and pride against Russia's brutal and unprovoked assault, I have authorized, pursuant to a delegation by the president, an unprecedented third presidential drawdown up to $350 million for immediate support to Ukraine defense. This brings a total security assistance to assistance the United States is committed to Ukraine over the past year to more than $1 billion. The package will include further lethal defense against to help Ukraine address the armor, airborne, and other threats it is now facing, and is another signal, clear signal that the United States stands with people of Ukraine as they defend their sovereign, courage, and proud nation. So we have already given $1 billion to Ukraine for military assistance, and they're using it. There was several bodies in the street of Russian soldiers. There were people in Ukraine that took Russian tanks. They often had developed a website so Russian can see their dead soldiers. Yeah, they are they're dead soldiers, and it's going to get brutal. So there are going to be air things that they're going to practice, and I'm thinking that this is what this probably was all about with Corona. For some reason, I'm just believing, in my opinion, okay, and I don't care if YouTube do this or not, I believe that this airborne stuff was this stuff to see what works and what doesn't. And so, that being said, I don't know what this war is about, but I pray for the countries and the soldiers that are on the front line fighting for something they know not what they're fighting for. They do not have any clue or understanding. And one of the things I want to speak about here on Spittinfire is that a lot of people say in my chat, why pray for them? They don't care about us. Prayer is not for a tick for tag. Okay? Prayer is for everyone. Whether you pray for someone or you don't, it's your right not to, and it's your right to do it. Okay? But to say that, oh, they don't do nothing for the United States, so we ain't doing nothing for them, if that's the mentality that we're going to have, then this world will continue to be doomed. Because prayer doesn't work like that. Everyone deserves it when it's in need. Lives are at stake. And these people thinking they're fighting for their country and they have no idea what the fight is about. Citizens running scared. It was just 21 years ago when we were hit with 9/11. And many countries came to the aid of the United States. So to say that, that moves my spirit, and I don't want that type of comments in my comment section. Okay? We're all human. All right? And it's not that war is not needed sometimes, but I just would like to have a war that know what we're fighting for. And then if it's something we personally and strongly believe in, you attack us, we coming back for you. That's something I can believe in and stand by my soldiers and my country. But if I don't know why and lives are lost, it just doesn't make sense. So this is Spittinfire. I'm your girl RA, bringing you the update on Ukraine. They are letting the Russians know that they're not as weak as they may think. And actually, that is what one soldier said. All right, this is Spittinfire, bringing you an update. Fire out.